So I did a poll recently on my channel. Most of you guys said that the reason why you want to learn kickboxing is for self-defense. And you know what? I couldn't agree more, because it builds confidence, it builds self-esteem, and quite frankly, yeah, you want to protect yourself and those around you if you ever get into a tough situation. But I will tell you the most unsexy part of self-defense that people don't really want to hear but need to do in order to learn the skill of self-defense. All right, guys, my name's Chris. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Sicat Kickboxing Club. And guys, if you haven't done so yet, like this video if you get value out of it, subscribe to the channel, and share this with anyone that wants to learn self-defense, because it's very important. And I also run a podcast of high-level martial artists. It's also, I actually did a recent episode of the best martial arts to do self-defense, and you get a lot of value out of that and a lot of information if you are doing kickboxing for that reason. And also go on my website. It's chrissicat.com. My whole goal is to build a community on there, so join the email list and you could find everything about me on there, okay? So yeah, so the one thing, right, is I'm gonna be talking about the most unsexy thing when they think of like self-defense, because I think most people have this notion of just like messing people up, right? Like you see those videos that go viral, and then there's this guy, you know, he's like walking with his girlfriend, and then the guy disrespects him by touching his butt. It might have been a movie, but I don't know, but whatever. We watch too many movies that kind of give us a false sense of what we think self-defense is. But yeah, like there's this guy walking, he's with his girlfriend, all of a sudden they slap her butt or something, and then the guy's like messing him up with these boxing combos, which, hey, like if you're skilled like that, which I know a lot of people, I train at a world-class gym. I know a lot of people that could do that. That's good. But most martial artists and most kickboxers that know a lot about self-defense, because we train it every day, is that the most important part, the most crucial part about self-defense itself when you're out on the quote-unquote streets, or if you ever get into a situation, is defense, okay? I'm gonna say that again. It's defense. Defense wins championships. I know you guys heard of that quote. It's in football, it's in everything. Defense wins championships. And that goes along with martial arts and just self-defense in general. Now, I'll get into it. What I mean by defense wins championships is that you have to be able to hold your ground, okay? This isn't just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna stand up with this guy and all of a sudden I'm gonna slip his punches, and then, you know, I'm gonna do this crazy combo and then he's gonna go back at me. Like, it's great that you have that visualization, you know, to use with your tools. And I talked about visualization, about how, you know, you would think like a sparring match or a fight would go. That's good. But the thing is far often, people don't talk about how you have to stand your ground, okay? Because let's face it, right? Most likely in a realistic situation, especially if you're a trained martial artist, or if you're a trained kickboxer, most likely, honestly, unless something, you know, they start, I don't know, like talking crap about, you know, your girlfriend, or, you know, some scenario where there's this drunk guy that just won't stop bothering you, and all of a sudden he just starts crap for no reason, most likely you're gonna avoid the fight. So it's most likely you're gonna avoid the fight. And what I'm trying to say is that more than likely, the guy that's starting whatever he's starting, or, you know, starting all this ruckus, is gonna come at you first, okay? Like I said, never say never. I know there's certain situations where you have to act first. I'm not saying just stand there and just take a beating, or just stand there before things really go south or in a bad direction. But what I'm saying is that you have to be on the defensive already, right? So if a guy was coming at you like this, like, yo, bro, what's up? You know, to me, that's an indication of, oh, we're fighting. Like if he's doing this, that's a threat to me, okay? I should point that out because that's like number one. If he's doing this, and my MMA coach first told me that, and I was like, yeah, because he's already engaging with you. Like he already has an intention, the way that he's moving his body, okay? The thing is with that is that, yeah, you can, it's a tricky situation because yeah, you can just go off and be the first to bomb like Tupac says, right? Like you could just go ham on him. But the thing is, guys, there's laws in place, okay? And if you're like, what I've come to find out is that if you are trained, and then they see that on the camera and all this, you know, they have all this evidence. It's like, well, he's trained and, you know, I was deemed defensive. That could be used against you, okay? And guys, I don't condone violence. I've said that in the last video where it's called, what's it called? How to Win Any Street Fight. You could check that video out because it's along the same lines. But this one is gonna emphasize more on the most important part, which is the defensive side, which I'll show you how to do. So when someone comes up to you like this, be ready to be comfortable with the defense that you learned. Again, check my video in how to block punches, okay? That's a big one, all right? Because part of being on the defensive, guys, is that standing your ground. So I'll show you how to do that, okay? In the actual live street fight without any puffy boxing gloves or without any like cushions or shin guards that will protect you. So when you're standing your ground on defense, right? When you've drilled these moves time and time again with your training partners or even on the bag when you're visualizing yourself moving. Number one, guys, I'll show you this, is that you have to have a strong base. And what I mean by that is that have your feet planted to the ground. I don't mean be stiff and be stuck to the ground, but have it so that you have a good foundation. You're nice and balanced, I guess what I'm trying to say. You're not leaned over, you're not doing this, but you have your hands up, ready to go. This is when you know that things are about to go down, right? Like say at a bar or on the streets, whatever. And you have to have a good base like this, right? I'm planted, I'm good, right? The reason for that is that if you're backing up like most people are gonna do because they're not comfortable staying in the quote unquote pocket in the red zone where they could get hit, they'll start to run away like this. And then all of a sudden, if the other guy happens to have like a big reach on him, he'll reach out and then still hit you, and guess what? You're off balance and all of a sudden you're falling to the floor. That's a very underrated reason that people don't look at defense, right? They just look at hitting the guy and then, you know, they're in a bar fight all of a sudden. We're not here for that. We're trained fighters, right? You watch my videos because you want to learn technique and you want to be calm, sound, and effective, right? And it's all technique. Well, this is the technique that I'm showing you that's the most important part about kickboxing and learning to defend yourself, is to have a good base. Defense wins championships again, okay? So here, again, you're planted to the ground, right? You have your heel up here, right? So you could spring back and forth like this, okay? But most importantly, you want to have a good guard. We don't have gloves anymore on the streets, right? Like, that's in the practice room. I mentioned this on other videos where, again, check out that street fighting video that I did. But look, you see that? You see that? You see that? This is going to be your gloves. Not like this, okay? Your fists, look how small they are, especially mine. But open them up so that you got your bases covered, and don't do any drastic movement. Look, don't go crazy like this, don't do that. Again, we're trained. You've been watching my videos for a while, you've been repping out the moves. We should know this by now, right? So over here, I'll reiterate, just do this, small, simple moves. Because if you do bigger moves, it opens you up, okay? Especially for a street fight, people are gonna be swinging all over the place, and then you have to have your base, right? Number one is base, so that you don't get off balance, right? That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing that beginners don't think about compared to like the pros and intermediate, is that how your body is manipulated. So if you have a strong base, it's hard for you to get manipulated because you're almost stuck to the ground, but then you can spring back and forth still, right? You're light on your feet, but stuck to the ground in case they throw a bunch of barrage of punches on you, right? You're going like this. You're going boom, 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 right? You're blocking. Your base is nice and planted. Look, boom, boom. You're like a wall. You're like a wall. And when you block those punches enough, that other guy is going to get tired. Now, personally for me, because being experienced and I know how to handle myself as far as like stay calm in the pocket, because obviously I do it every day, you're going to get a sense of confidence where you're gonna block, and you might not block everything, but that's okay. You're used to kind of getting hit in the face by now, right? As long as you're blocking it, right, you're gonna feel something. But the other guy, guess what? Most people, most untrained people too, in about 20, 30 seconds, they're tired, right? They blew their wad, they blew their load, and now they have their hands down. They're like, and you see this in a lot of videos where they're like, okay, hold on. It's like, what do you mean, hold on? You just tried to knock me out. You tried to hurt me. You threatened me, right? You could have hurt me really badly, or even worse than that. So what do you mean, hold on? Here's a quote, okay? Here's a quote that I really like. And it's true for high-level fighters, it's true for beginners, is that exhaustion makes a coward out of all of us. Man, exhaustion makes a coward out of all of us, right? So when we're exhausted, even myself, right? I'm going ham with this high-level fighter, right? I'm going sparring, we're doing our thing. And then once we start getting tired because I mismanaged, I mismanaged my pace when I'm sparring someone, that's bad news. That's bad news for me because biologically, my hands, they're gonna get filled with like acid, lactate. I don't know what the term is, I'm not like a power lifter, but then it's gonna build all this, I guess you could say just fatigue in my arms. And then my hands, even though I don't want them to, are gonna start going down because I'm tired, or I'm gonna start backing away. And for trained fighters, they see that from a mile away. So what I mean is that if I got into a street fight and then I blocked, right? Like I was saying, I blocked very solidly. It's like boom, boom, boom. I'm taking his hits. Maybe I get hit in the face, but it's all good. I can take it because I've practiced standing in the pocket and I've learned the skill of getting punched in the face and learned how to take hits. After that guy goes on his little barrage that because most people will try to knock you out within like the first 10 seconds, 20 seconds, but that's a problem. They don't know how to pace themselves. They're not trained. And even if they are trained, it depends on their level of trainers, right? So that's what I would do. Yes, I try to counter them, if I see an opening, but more than likely, they're gonna be swinging, man. They're gonna be swinging and they're going for the haymaker. They're going for the knockout because they've watched too many Mike Tyson videos, right? So that's it. Just stay in the pocket, trust your defense. Defense wins championships, and then boom, 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 boom. And all of a sudden, when he's like, oh, okay, hold on. There's no holding on over here, all right? There's no holding on. You attacked first. That gives me the means to go in there if I really chose to completely mess you up. Yeah, I could probably just back out and run away, which I would suggest because it's just not worth it, like I said, because, legalities and stuff like that. But yeah, now you're quote unquote messed you've messed around and you're done, right? Because they're tired, they can't keep their arms up, and they're just vulnerable to everything, right? They have a hard time breathing. So yeah, I mean, that would be my number one tip. I want to emphasize that just on this video, and I'll do a series of these videos of self-defense because I know you guys want to learn it, but this is the most important. Now, I know it's the most unsexy of self-defense because we all want to learn how to elbow someone and then all of a sudden go barrage on them, like I said, like Mike Tyson, just knocking people out on the streets. But honestly, that seems to be unrealistic, honestly. It does happen, but those videos are going viral. Most likely, yeah, they're gonna come at you, And again, have your defense nice and tight. Windshield wipe, check out my other videos for that. Windshield wipe, have a good base, more importantly, so that you don't get off balance and you're planted to the ground and you could take those hits, right? You're just going boom, boom, boom. Oh, you're tired? Oh man, I don't know what to tell you because I'm coming at you now. But anyways, yeah, practice your defense, guys, and that is the most important part, at least for what I think of self-defense, and then just slowly build on what you can do with that. I will be teaching you some more self-defense aspects as far as offense, but I felt like I needed to teach you what I feel is the most important foundation of what it actually means to learn the skill of defending yourself, all right? So, yeah, rant's over. If you haven't done so yet, subscribe to the channel, like this video if you got value out of it, share it to anyone that wants to learn self-defense. I love doing these videos. I've been doing this for, decades. So, yeah, just, oh, don't forget to check out the podcast because that's a lot of value within itself. And check out my site, chrissicat.com, join my email list, and I'll see you on the next one.